In this video, we're going to talk about your face. Now, branding for any kind of business is going to be always of central importance, but especially when you're a sole trader as a voiceover, or whether or not you've set up your own company, it's still you that is doing all of the aspects of the work, from the actual voiceover to the editing to the marketing and the outreach, all of those kind of things. Then putting together your brand is even more crucially important. And obviously there are various different ways that you can come up with your voiceover brand. I would say that Celia Siegel's book, Voiceover Achiever, is a great way to start. But regardless, I would say that the voiceover brand essentially comes from you, from what you offer, from who you are as a person, from how you sound, but also what your unique selling point is in many kind of ways, what kind of characters that you're more likely to play. Regardless, anyway, without going too much on tangent about the whole different composite things about your brand, when it comes to your face, this is one of the reasons why that I would suggest that you do have your face feature on your website and on your email signature communication, because the more people can associate your work with an actual identity as opposed to some words in an email, that's such an important connection to be able to make. We're ultimately talking about brand recognition in any kind of way, and that can sound very impersonal and very marketing speak. But it is essentially about, who is this person? Do I recognize them? About being, again, the whole marketing thing about being top of mind. How can I best serve to be top of mind? And your face, for better or for worse, will do that for you. Which is why I would say, for example, with a certain group of people on Twitter, for example, voice actors on Twitter, there are quite a lot of people who are very keen on working in Japanese animation or animation more generally, and they all have kind of illustrated versions of themselves as kind of avatars on Twitter, which then bleeds through into their marketing as well. Now, if that works for them, then great. If whatever works for you, if it works, if it converts in whatever way, absolutely fantastic. It kind of it immediately speaks of the kind of work that you enjoy doing and maybe the types of characters that you play. If you've got, a certain haircut and glasses and look a bit nerdy, then maybe it's the nerds, that kind of thing. I get that to a certain extent. All I'd say is, from my own perspective, like when I'm seeing these people on Twitter, is that they all blur, because they all sort of look the same ultimately at the end of the day, which means that it's very difficult to be memorable. And sometimes you need to kind of get your head around the fact that brand recognition is almost more important than reputation to a certain degree. Similarly, in terms of what I do, in terms of with my face, obviously I was an actor, so I was more used to having my headshots taken, so that was less traumatic for me. But the whole reason that I've decided to go with the whole, with the suit, well, not now, obviously, but with the suit and the tie and the teacup, for the British RP sound, certain connotations, quite a lot of those connotations might not actually be very positive right now in 2021. So there's a risk of provoking things which aren't necessarily helpful for my employment, but it is memorable and it's quite clear to the vast majority of people what it is that I'm offering. But on top of that, it's personalized because there's only one of my face, thank God. So that's how the branding works for me. Whether people love it or hate it, if I email someone, reach out to someone and they go, oh no, it's that tit with a teacup again, I'm at least, provoking a response to them and knocking the mic at the same time. But I'm provoking a response like Marmite, and generally speaking, I think that's a good thing marketing-wise to do. When the vast majority of people that you're reaching out to are being contacted by voiceovers all the time, anything that you can do to be more memorable without going weird and sending them something through the post that they didn't ask for, or going out on a limb with some crazy line of introduction that is really not going to work, but just purely in terms of image that they can have a response to, your face is a great way to start doing that. And then thinking of building your branding and your image around that to some degree to really reflect who you are. And obviously I'm not going to go completely anti against the whole avatar animated route, especially for those people that work. I just say it's something to have, to bear in mind, to have so that you make a conscious choice about it. I hope you found that useful. If you are a voiceover artist and this kind of thing is something that you're more interested in, then please do check out my Skillshare course, The Business of Voiceover, which is free if you sign up for a trial there. Link is below. Thank you very much for your time. Be interested to know your thoughts, and I'll see you next time.